if you weren't afraid? What would you do if you weren't afraid? Guys, that is the topic for the stream today. We have massive news. It seems like we always have massive news, but look at this. This is big. If you follow on X or some of the other platforms, LinkedIn, you saw that we got these cards here, okay? And you might be wondering, Will, what are these cards? Why are these cards such a big deal? I'm going to turn on my Insta360 real quick, and then I will tell you about the cards. Okay, so the cards. Check this out. Diary of a CEO cards. These came in the mail the other day. They're actually 2 decks. So for those of you guys who don't know, it's the number 2 podcast in the world. And at the end of every single episode, they bring on some of the best guests, the most in-demand, amazing guests. And at the end of every episode, let's say that you're on there, they're going to ask you a question. And it's going to be a question that the previous guest came up with for you. So that's when the question is revealed. And then after your episode is done, you have the opportunity to write on one of these cards a question for the next person. So I've been super excited to get these cards. And the reason why is we're spicing it up. Okay. Oh, wait, I know what it is. All right, we are back. All right, guys, I'm not sure where it cut off. We're gonna kick it off again. So these are the cards, okay? These are the cards. And so, in case you don't know how these are created, some of the best guests in the entire world, they come on. The last question they're asked in the podcast is the question that the previous guest left. So it's like the best question that these people can think of. That's the question you get asked. And then you leave a question for the next guest. And that is what you have on these cards here. So every single stream moving forward, we're going to kick one off with one of these, and we're going to finish with one of these. Now, in order to make the title and thumbnail, I did read the first one right before going live here. So if you clicked on, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Let me open this up. So the way that it works, too, I'll just show you this. This is the question that was written, and it was written by Whitney Wolfe Hurd, okay? Whitney Wolfe Hurd wrote this question. And it's really cool, too, because you actually see the handwriting. So now you know exactly how her handwriting looks. This is actually a really difficult question. I realized just before going live, but I'm realizing these are very difficult and deep questions to answer. So it will be very intense to answer them. I didn't for the other card, but for this one, I did check out Gabby Logan's answer. So on the backside, you can scan this. You can scan it right now if you want to see the answer. You can scan it, and it'll take you to that part of the interview where Gabby answers the question. And her answer, I'll tell you her answer, then I'll tell you mine. Her answer was interesting. She said, if she wasn't afraid, she would move to LA and she would start a talk show. So I think they're recording out in the UK. She said, yeah, I'd go to LA and start a talk show and become like Oprah. So that was her answer. For me, it's so difficult because it's actually something that I'm always trying to figure out, like what the gut feeling is on things, which, we talk up a lot about. And I think that a lot of times following the gut will put you in uncomfortable situations, but helps to minimize the, I don't know. I think that like a lot of times it kind of pushes you to the path that is more fearful. I would say that the big one for me would just be taking the biggest swings that we can as we're building these companies. Like, I'll give you an example. So with MyWorker, we're at a spot where the competitors, like, we're the underdogs at the end of the day. Competitors started slightly earlier than us. They're big, massive incumbents in the industry, and the deck's stacked against us in almost every way when you look on the surface. And when I was looking at this, this is answering the question, by the way. I don't think I forgot, because this all leads to answering the question. So when I was looking at this, I was thinking, how are we not going to get eaten alive? How does the underdog win? And I think that the theme that I kept coming back to was, it was doing the thing that is uncomfortable, but the big guy isn't willing to do. Like, I'll give you the example. Like, in every realm, the position that you're in, it's got an advantage in some way. And, you know, you might be a very small company going up against a big company, but then you can maybe give the personal touch. Like, you're going to care more as the CEO than some random rep who's going to look at the customer as a number. From the company building aspect, I looked at it and I thought, you know, exactly what we're doing right now, where it's like we're streaming and you're able to see what's going on. That was the only path that I kind of saw that still kept us in the game. And that was really uncomfortable, because, like, there is a fear, not just of getting on camera, but of just bringing that level of transparency, like, look into the life, like, vulnerability. Kind of hate that word, just like using the vulnerability aspect, but just like the transparency that it requires to, like, bring you guys with me everywhere streaming. And I think that like, if I was going to look at a big fear, was like that, along with just doing what was needed to try and bring the companies and give us a shot as the underdog to build something that could last. It's not just going to be, you know, one of these other AI projects that falls to the wayside. So I think that in terms of answering the question, that's what comes to mind, is like, wasn't afraid, basically be doing this. And I would say that I kind of had a feeling around doing this for, like, I couldn't verbalize it, like what it exactly was, and even still, like, what it's turning into. But I do think that moving forward, just leaning into the stuff that is uncomfortable. Like, I'll give you another example. So, like, even with just location, like, okay, am I going to stay in the area? Am I going to move? There's a lot of things up in the air right now. And we've been flopping back and forth. It's like, okay, are we going to try and stay in California? Are we going to try and go to Puerto Rico? Or, like, what are we going to do? And I think with that decision, it's the same thing where, like, I was looking at, hey, it might be in certain ways easier to go and make a move, but then there are other benefits in staying. So I'm rambling. I don't think that there's, like, a clear, easy answer. If I was to just give the simple answer here, I would say, like, if there was no fear, just bring you guys in to the full behind the scenes with everything that I'm doing and building, and showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I think we're doing it to a certain degree, but there probably is other ways that we could take it to that next level. But, you know, with everything, it is scary. It is scary trying to, like, put that much out there. And the streaming piece is new to me too. I mean, this is this is kind of weird to say, but I didn't watch any streams. I feel like a lot of people who stream, they watched a lot of streaming before streaming. Like, some people came on and said, like, I was listening to the streamer the other day. His name is Marlon. When he started streaming, he said, oh, I want to be the biggest streamer in the world. When I started streaming, it was like, I never even, like washed a full stream just a handful of months ago. So this is all very new to me, but you know, it's kind of on the topic of what would you do if there was no fear. It was like, all right, well, this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. I mean, there are some like things about it that are slightly awkward, but it's not that bad. It is awkward. Like right now, we're walking around and just talking at a camera, at a phone. It's actually a lot less awkward when you have a cameraman there, but when you're just going solo with this thing, it is a lot. It is different, you know. You also kind of have to be a little careful to make sure you're not walking into anything, because, like, I mean, I don't have to flip the camera, but you guys know what I mean. It's like there are things that might be in your path. You don't want to walk into those things. So, yeah. So now that we answer the question, this is actually very fun. I'm glad that we got those cards. We're going to be doing this on basically on every stream. We're going to do that. And we got another one. Make sure you stay, because we got another one coming up at the very end of the stream. Okay? So you heard the answer for the beginning. There's a surprise one that's coming at the end. So until then, the game plan for today, we're going to hit some quick cardio, and then we never fully recovered from the sickness, unfortunately. Still have a little tickle in our throat. I'm coughing a little bit. So we're going to hit some quick cardio. We're going to hit some back buys. That might turn into like an abbreviated workout. And guys, I'm about to tell you some really cool stuff. We have some huge updates on the assistant front. She's actually at the place working right now as we are on our way here for this workout. So I'm about to go check in. I'll get situated, and then I'll tell you how that's been going here. How's it going?
Like, wait a second. What I know, like, why am I holding this still?
Could I check in with my phone number? Sorry. All right, guys. We are gonna get set up on the bike here, and then I will tell you. Her name is Lelena, and she's been crushing it. Let me just put this here. Okay. Okay. I feel like we have a nice little routine here. So we know exactly how to get the ball rolling on getting this this bike and the tripod set up. All right. There we go. So there we go. So her name is Lelena, and she is she's been doing an amazing job. So as a quick background to catch you guys up, oh my gosh, it feels like so much time has passed, but it really hasn't been that long. We went from a scenario where we were doing some reflections in terms of, okay, how is How's everything moving? How's the business been growing? What can we do to take it to the next level? And we realized that, you know, we really just need some more hands on deck. We need someone who can be with us, immersed, alive, and just helping us get stuff done, you know? Because look at what we're doing right now. When I'm here and we're chatting, and we're talking, and we're doing things, no follow-ups are being sent. Pre-assistant, nothing's getting done, and that's very limiting because there are only so many hours in the day, and there just weren't enough hours. And so I realized that we needed someone who could be actually in person and immersed in everything going on, and that I could work closely with. So we ended up making a hire, taking the leap. She's been great. You guys actually might see her in some content moving forward, just because I'm always recording, and so sometimes she'll be around and you'll see her. But getting her fully up to speed and figuring out, okay, how are we going to make the most out of this? My thought process, like day one, we kind of just hung out. We went to Costco. We went to the Tesla diner, and we were just chatting, you know. Super fun day, honestly. So we were getting all the office snacks, and yeah, the Tesla diner was sweet. We have a video that's going to be coming out on the Tesla diner. It's called "The Tesla Diner Has a Secret" or something like that. But there is a secret that we learned. And the video's not done yet. We started recording it. So first day, she just dove right in. She was down to get mic'd up, down for anything. And we got some really awesome, just like, not just content, but like awesome like discussions around, okay, how can we approach things? How can we get everything in order? And like, what are the goals? And letting her know everything that I guess we've kind of been catching you guys up on with. Where's the Bitcoin mining business? Sazmining at? What are the priorities for MyWorker? What's this new opportunity? It's like there's a lot going on. And so the first day, spent the whole day hanging out, just chatting, getting her caught up with things, getting her logged into some of our platforms on X, etc. And then, yeah. And then yesterday, we were, you know, getting down into the execution. So right now, like from a business perspective, and this is what we chatted about, we're like, okay, we need to get some like large enterprise customers. We need to start actually doing our investor outreach. And like, those are the two main things. A lot of our potential customers are on LinkedIn and X. And we also have MyWorker's tool to be able to do the outreach. And so we got her on X. I showed her how to use the agentic browser from Perplexity. And guys, I'm telling you, she picked this stuff up right away. Like, it was awesome. So like, started using all the prompts, getting Perplexity working on all these areas. And yeah, we started following the target accounts. We basically had a whole list of targets. We started following them, and I'm going to be engaging with them on X. We also, today, right now, as we speak, she is on LinkedIn following up with a bunch of potential investors that we actually invited on our podcast, and booking podcast appearances for them. So it's like she's caught up on X from yesterday. Right now, she's getting caught up on LinkedIn. We got her set up with my meeting link. So I gave her like the times that I want to be able to do those meetings a day. I'm just doing a 3-hour window. The rest of the time, I want to put focus towards getting you guys what you guys need in terms of these streams, in terms of getting the content, and in terms of building in public. So those 3 hours, though, I think are going to be great for those meetings. Being able to book in advance. We also left the weekends open, full day. So I'm always available to meet with them on the weekends. So the one final piece, she's finishing up a lot of those right now. Before heading out for this stream, showed her MyWorker's YouTube channel so she could learn how to actually use MyWorker software. And then I also logged her in on the MyWorker account. So now she's set up there. We got her set up with her own email, and we created another email for me that she also has access to. So now we've got all the plumbing, everything ready to go and getting started. And we're 3 days in. So it's been going really well so far, and makes me realize that I should have focused on getting the assistant earlier. But it is what it is, you know. I'm glad that we made a good hire, though. It's like one of those things that you can tell quickly if someone is a good fit or not. And I can tell that she's a good fit. So that is very good news. Very good news. And so I feel like I've just been dumping a lot of information on you guys. Also in the chat, I saw someone just put a message. I cannot read the messages live, unfortunately. We're going to be finding a workaround solution for that. Juggling a couple of different things, but tune into a future stream. You not only will be able to see us answer these Diary of a CEO deep questions, but you will get to actually have me, like especially during this time where I'm just sitting in front of and biking, being able to respond to you guys live is going to be super, super easy if I just had like a second phone. So tune into future streams, be able to read the comments. So let's reset here, guys. I want to reset because it's building blocks. Let's look at it this way. It's building blocks. Now, if you take a step back, we have the media machine side that can take all of the filming, turn it into the content. We've also now unblocked ourselves from a follow-up perspective. So scheduling podcasts, scheduling meetings, like actually doing the things that are needed to close deals and stay on top of those pipelines, that's also been unblocked. So now, from the capabilities of, like, our capabilities as an organization have leveled up big time, big time. Yes, we don't have tens of millions of dollars in the coffers, like, laying around. Yes, we also don't have the brand cachet or names of these big companies, but that's okay. I don't think that those advantages that they have inherently take us out. And I think if anything, it allows us to actually get very specific on the people that we do work with to give them a much better experience. And so the next steps that I'm seeing are as follows. Step one is, now that we've got these funnels starting to build, having us just get organized on saying, okay, these are the way that we're filling it up. This is how many meetings, leads, etc. we're getting into the funnel with this approach. And then, bob and weave and adjust things as needed, and then continue to get that traction that will allow us to go and grow through our customer base and investor capital. So it took a while to get to this point. Maybe it might not seem like it, but it's like the amount of time and energy to just get here. It's crazy. I feel like it moved 10 times slower than we wanted it to move. All that to say, we're feeling good. We're feeling good that we got these things in place, and now our capacity to execute is going to be far greater, far greater now. Even from just the like day-to-day like schedule side, I think we're just much more dialed because we've got these hours, we've got a flow that we can go in that we're going to be able to get a lot of things done on. So I'm very excited. The final pieces are just like she's fully on X, fully on LinkedIn, and then get her to manage the communications on MyWorker and email. Then that's off my plate. I'm going to start pushing a lot of the communication aspects that I'm directly managing over to her, and then she'll fill the calendar up as appropriate. So, all right, we're getting a little hot. I'm gonna take this off. Oh my God. This lighting makes my hair look crazy. Actually, this feels good having my hair down for a bit. Well, okay. How's it going, guys? Welcome. We've got even more exciting updates here. Guys, if you think that I've given you all the updates, we have not even begun scratching the surface of everything we've done. I mean, we haven't streamed in the past few days. Last stream was on Sunday. Guys, since Sunday versus now, so much has happened, okay? Guys, Sunday was ages ago, okay? So we've got some big updates here. So outside of the, assistant, communications, all these other updates, I'll share with you the other big update from Degen Predict, okay? So for those of you guys who don't know, one of the biggest future markets in the world is predictions. You've got a lot of people's opinions on things. At the end of the day, the stock market is just people's views on what will happen with a particular asset, with a particular stock. You've got the booming creator economy, where these creators are not only trying to find ways to monetize for themselves, but to also engage with and build deeper relationships with their community. So you've got these mega trends of the creator economy booming, and then the capabilities and infrastructure that you see being built in crypto and AI. I thought, as I've learned more about Degen Predict, the internet's very big. Online gambling, yes, that was big. But prediction markets and the social layer, that's big. Well, let's combine that with AI, that's big. And combine that with the capabilities in crypto infrastructure, that's big. And I realized that one of the biggest future markets in the world is going to be the ability for you as a creator, or not, as just someone in your friend group, to be able to give you the opportunity and the freedom to put your money where your mouth is on your opinions, right? Let's say that you think this is gonna happen and your buddy thinks that's gonna happen. It would have been very difficult for other people to get in on that and actually see what the collective belief of the society is on whatever that market might be, that random market. So guess what I'm getting at is the more that I've learned about what is actually going on with the company, the more fired up I'm getting. I was fired up initially because of the team. Now I'm finally getting caught up to speed on what becomes possible with this type of a company. And I think to a large degree, it actually is underpinned. You know, both people are massive Bitcoiners, the people that were working on this project. And the belief that underpins all of this is that, you know, you should have the freedom and the liberty to be able to go and do these things. And previously it would have been impossible. But now, because you've got the improvements in AI and crypto infrastructure and the capabilities of these large language models, you can actually build something like this. And it works. So I started working with them, you know, at the end of last week. But now it's gone from no users to, I mean, I don't even know how many users, but there are bets going in. You right now can go onto DGen Predict and create a market or bet on one of the markets up there that someone else created. So guys, within a week, think about this. Within a week, going from no users and little to no available markets to bet on to a early stage burgeoning number of markets with other users that will take bets on things against you. The speed at which this is growing is very exciting. And it's amazing too, because even if you're not a creator, you've got the ability now to go in and create a market. And for creating that market, there's some benefits. So one of those benefits is, out of the winning bet from the market, because you seeded the market, created the market, you get a small percentage of the total winning bet. So all of these things, I think, build, I don't like throwing around the word ecosystem, but I think it is relevant in this case. It's an ecosystem that allows you to do something that you never would have been able to do otherwise or have done before. And it's very exciting and grateful to be able to work with other great Bitcoiners, great technical talent, great team to try and help that company, help that company grow. So that is the final update on the work side. There's a lot more we can dive into, but just thinking through timing and what we have going on here, I think it's time for us to actually hit our workout. Yeah, we're gonna do a 20-minute warm-up today because, you know, first couple days of the assistant coming in, we don't want her to feel like she doesn't have anything to do. But she's got a good idea. We still got a huge list of things to do on the LinkedIn and X side. So, and learning MyWorker side. So with that, I'm gonna end this bike sesh and we're gonna go hit some back buys. Always clean the machines. On Monday this week, we hit a lift with our buddy Michael. I don't know if I've talked about Michael on the stream before, but awesome dude. He was actually the guy that he introduced us to our gym buddy Leo, who moved out to Miami. But yeah, we hit a workout with him on Monday. We hit chest tries. Our chest and triceps were sore, and guys, I think we set a record. It was a record for the sorest I have. Oh my God! I just realized we left something upstairs. But guys, we set a record. It was a record for the sorest we've ever been during a workout. It was crazy. We almost left our little AI tracker. All right. Okay. This is how we activate it. Put our hand, there we go. All right, so we are doing some weighted pull-ups. All right, let's see how I'm gonna do this. So guys, you are currently inside the coolest gym in the entire world. Okay. So we're gonna start with I think we're gonna do it a little differently. We're gonna do close grip instead of wide grip. So I want to be able to move a little more weight. Okay. Unfortunately, since we are barely not tall enough, we need to grab this dumbbell and stand on it to get up. Alright. Let's see here. So on the lifting side, like always, we're starting with a compound lift. I'm just gonna do a little warm up here. wonder if I can bring this up a little. Okay. So we're gonna do I think we'll do the first set with the 45 pound. That'll be good. All right, I think we're gonna get. We'll do 8 reps with this, and then we'll go up to 2 plates. I do not know how that's gonna go. All right, this is like a little balancing act to get up. All right. Okay. How's it going, guys? I see that there are chats, but I cannot respond, unfortunately. Can't read them. Also, what do we think of the MyWorker merch? This, I did not make this image. I did not make it, but my buddy Andres did. And I was like, you know what? We'll give this one to Andres. It is pretty funny. He made an image of me being scared in the water. And it was like a whole inside joke because I said that I'm more of a land creature, okay? Which is true. We prefer doing activities on land. We're much more capable and competent when we're not floundering around in the water, right? And he ran with that and made this this image. So, but I still like the shorts. So they're super comfortable. I think that these are my favorite like shorts in terms of fit because they're breathable, but they're not like super baggy, and they're just like they're comfortable. Like I can like do whatever I need to do. Like very good quality material. So I still wear them even though on this leg it looks like I'm terrified of the water. All right, we just grabbed a second plate. So now we are doing 90 pounds. It's been a little while since we've gone heavy like this on pull-ups. So we will see. I'm like, this belt's kind of fucked up. All right, there we go. Yeah. All right. We'll see how this goes. All right. All right. 90 90 pounds here. Here we go.
I do not know though. I just rap like a gift plate Santa ho. You look like a hobo. On the waist in case you make a play local. Don't try me for size, I go extra large. Too broad, my size, my big card. Hey, it's good, it's security court. See the hoe I lay from my backyard. When I see my new cane, they say that's hard.
Okay. Yeah, we got stuck on that last one, but I'm glad we attempted it.
Back in high school, you was the man. You sent the DM, you a fan. Laughing on that way, she get banned. I don't quit, I don't miss, I just fucking dismiss. I get lit, yeah. You got that bitch, got you stuck in the fist, yes. Send me my money, still with a kiss. I need this fame, still is free.
Guys, I think that this is the most, this is the least busy I think I've ever seen this. Let me show you. This is the Bell area. Got the Insta. Look at this. This place is empty. Actually, you know what? This might be kind of a cool angle. Back in high school, you was the man. You sent the DM, you a fan. Hopping on that way, she get banned. I don't quit, I don't miss, I just fucking dismiss. All right. We're going to do some pull-ups with the 45. Actually,
rock out your workout. John Reed Radio.
Yeah, we're really taking our time here with the workout. Not setting any records. So now, only doing one of these instead of two. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can see how many we can do. Oh, I don't even know how many we got there. Later on, we're not able to do the full reps, which is fine. So at least we just go to failure. All right, guys, so we're gonna put these back. And normally we go to the other room, but this is like empty right now, so we might as well just hit more workouts here where we have the gym to ourselves. Yeah, we were just standing on this 75. Okay. So honestly, I say we just do this. Or actually, this one looks a little better. Let's go right here. Oh yeah, this is better. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
3,333. My brother got a text, an emergency.
You know, I might have to. The best angle might literally just be putting this thing here.
I wrote him out when Mama Jan had surgery. I used to play birthday parties as a courtesy. Just a mic in a stand, no perjury. Empty house, free gems, no burglary.
Okay.
Me, X on my hands, Shirley Temple, waiting on the rest of my friends. Rapping about high school at a 21 plus show, but every other rapper is like 31 plus. So I go out on that stage and I close my eyes, cause it's only 17 people, no surprise. It's a showcase. Some of my friends ain't show up, but every hand in that place can't get rolled up. With my hands up in the air. Once I'm up here, I just don't care.
All right.
I got to share.
We're gonna do. I'm gonna do.
Any chance I get, I'm barring now. It's a little late to be sorry now. 3,333. That's how many tickets people paid to come and
Yeah,
see.
so we're just gonna do some curls.
The agent's blowing up. I said it ain't fair. The venue hold 14,000. At this point, you should probably think of pulling out. And what they gonna say when video out saying he was on the top, but he fell from the mountain. You in that school with that pen and that NPC. You used to worry about these NPCs and all the comments from the NPCs. You gotta offer them refunds. And I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck. My hands up in the air. These days, I don't care. I got a lot of things I got to share. But anybody out there willing to hear, star. I'm starring now, starting now. Chance I get, I'm barring out. It's a little late to be sorry now. Shout out to the Minnesota State Fair.
Okay.
Canceling tickets ain't fair, but I'll be there. It's the star. I'm starring now, starting now. It's a little late to be starting now.
All right. We're gonna do a different angle now. I think we're gonna do seated. 45s might be a little heavy. Let's see. All right, yeah. I'm gonna lower the weight. Okay. So we're gonna do, let's see. We're just gonna go to failure on these. Seated bicep curls. And then maybe do a little back or call it. We're not feeling 100%, so I don't want to push it too hard. This is more just to like get in the gym, get a pump. The rest of our body's pretty sore right now. Biceps is probably the least sore, so here we go.
Democracy. Yeah, I got more workers in the KGB. So, next business, you already are.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay. So later on in the workout, we're probably going to call it fairly soon. Going to hit a little bit more biceps and then bounce. Normally we want to do a longer workout, but still have a lot of work that we actually have to do and catch up on. Plus, we probably need some rest instead of working the body too hard right now. Sometimes it's like if you're used to working out to feel like more energized and better, you'll push it even when you're not feeling 100% like we're doing. But when you do, you don't want to push it too hard. So in a little bit, we're going to head out. We're going to pull another card from the Diary of a CEO deck, which I'm very excited for. And yeah, you guys are going to get to, you guys are in for a special treat later. Guys, we got a big ending to the stream. So I'm gonna hit a couple more sets of this and then bounce. This is not the type of workout that'll grow you a ton, but you know, it's better than nothing. We're trying to keep strict form. It's focusing on the biceps on these, like seated isolation, which you're not going to be able to do quite as much weight if you keep it strict, but it's really good. Another key, I'll just show you, is like, do you ever see those like massive buff dudes in the gym and they're not lifting that much weight and they're like doing their slow controlled reps? And you think like, oh, that guy looks like he should be able to lift way more. Well, what they're doing that works really well for muscle growth is like, yes, mind muscle connection, but think about it as the amount of time that you need it to rip and then grow back stronger. So you're making a lot of micro tears. Then you eat, you grow back bigger. So when you're doing a slow rep, like I'll give you 2 examples. Let's say I do a rep like that. It's like kind of fast, right? Versus like a rep like this. Super slow down. The amount of time that this 40 pounds was on my muscle in the second option, the second version, it's like over 2 times as long. And so it's got that much time where it's like tearing, creating the micro tears in your muscles. So you're gonna be able to grow bigger, is a simple way to look at it. So when we're doing these and you see me like, I'm not going super slow, but I'm going pretty slow. Like I'm controlling it up and then going down like that. Versus like if I did a rep like this. You know, like the second one there was much faster. You're not building the muscle nearly as much as if you go like slow up, slow down. That's gonna build your muscle a lot more.
Rock out
Little
your
tip for the day.
workout. John Reed Radio.
Okay. We're just gonna we'll do 1 set of bent over flies and then we'll call it. Oops. Just because we feel like doing this. Alright. It's gonna hit our back and rear delts. Okay, guys. I'll be real. You can probably hear it in my voice. Voice hurts right now. Kind of hard to talk. So I was getting a little quieter at the end there. All right. so we're gonna call it on that. Thank you. Take care. Yep. All right. Yeah, we're feeling pretty parched right now, so we had to call that early. We were not feeling 100%. All right, so game plan for the rest of the day is we actually, we've got our own home office, but we actually go into the office 3 hours a day, 5 days a week now. So that is what we're doing at 2 p.m. But until then, we're going to work from our place, work with Lelena. She also goes by Lena, so maybe we'll start calling her Lena. So work with Lena, getting these funnels built. It'll be exciting for you guys too, because I know a while back we were talking about the podcast. We ended up recording a couple episodes, but as you guys know, there was a lot of things to do. It takes a lot of time and organization to actually, keep something like that consistent and going. And the podcast is coming back. Okay, so we're going to be doing some podcasts. Actually might get some in-person podcasts going as well. But yeah, I almost forgot, guys. Don't want to forget, we got the final card that needs to be drawn. After I cross the street, in 1 minute, we'll be reading one of these cards. We're going to cross the street, and, we looked at the cards that we were picking before so we could do the title and thumbnail, but the next card, I'm going to pull a random card from the deck here. So I really hope I don't get some crazy card. Guys, some of these questions are just really, really deep and difficult questions. I mean, even the one that you guys heard me read at the beginning of the stream, that one, what was that one? Oh yeah, the biggest fear. Our biggest thing you would do if you weren't afraid. Yeah, biggest thing you'd do if you weren't afraid. It's not an easy question to just randomly answer, okay? So we're about to pull another card and try and randomly answer it. Just found a table here. Okay. Hopefully this goes well. Okay. Let's do 360 down. Okay. Okay. Diary of the CEO cards. Okay. What would you do? Okay. So this was the card we answered earlier. What would you do if you absolutely weren't afraid? We already answered that one. Oh my God, guys. How am I supposed to answer this? I knew that we were in trouble. I knew we were in trouble because this is a level 3 card, okay? So the way that this works is on the back. So the one we answered at the beginning of the stream was a level 2. When you have a level 3 card, that means that it's the most difficult kind of question. It's like the deepest kind of question. So let's see if it has there's something that kind of shows how it works. But yeah, level 3 means that it's the deepest, most difficult question to answer. Oh my gosh, this is such a difficult question. So for those of you guys who didn't hear it the first time, it's by Christian Horner. Christian Horner. And it says, what is your biggest regret? And if you could go back, what would you do differently? Biggest regret. Biggest regret. You know, it's tough because this question is simultaneously like a very... I try not to... I don't know. I feel like it could be applied to so many things. I try and like... The things that are coming to mind are like, yes, regrets, but also like I can understand why I did what I did at the like those moments in time. And also I'm not sure if some of the things that are coming to mind qualify as like the biggest regret. Like, it sounds so weird because what's coming to mind right now, I feel like shouldn't be a regret, but and like I also have so much to be grateful for like I'll just give the answer. In reality, if I had more time to think about this, it would probably be different. Okay? I don't know why this is what popped into my mind right away, but maybe it was because I was having a conversation with Paige about this the other day, but we were talking about, like, it was the topic of school. And she said, you know, if we had a kid, like, I wouldn't care if they didn't want to go to college, like, as long as they had a plan. And I, first off, was like, I completely agree. I've never been one that loved school or even thought that school was important at all. Like, I think everything I learned was really just when I followed my curiosity outside of the classroom. And yeah, on this topic of college, she asked, you know, like, what do you think of your school, Bucknell? Like, do you wish you went? Or like, how do you think things would have gone if you didn't go? And I thought about it, and when I answered, I said, you know what? Funny enough, actually think that if you're just looking at things from a pure work standpoint, I actually probably would have been able to do more. Because when I was back in college, it was a ton of partying, and I had an amazing time. I loved it, but it was definitely like just like hedonism and just not being healthy and just like drinking a ton, and just there were a lot of negatives that came from it. And you know, fast forward, like today I don't drink alcohol anymore, and like I definitely live a very different life than I did back then. But bringing that to answering this question, which is like such a weird, this sounds really bad even just saying this out loud, but like my biggest regret would have been, I guess, not fully seeing where else I would have gotten into school. Because I kind of went to Bucknell. I got like I did early decision, and in early decision with colleges, you make a decision and then you can't really change it. And I remember even after I got in, I was like, there's this whole discussion with me and my parents. I'm like, why did I do ED? Like, we almost went and tried to like pull it to get out. But I really loved the school when I visited and everything else. But in terms of like a big regret, I guess the regret would be like, you never know. This is probably what was meant to be like the right path. But I guess the regret would be like, have been going early decision and not, I guess, giving another school a try, just seeing what could have done. And yeah, just kind of like that path. Like, I wonder what would have happened if I went down a different path. But all that to say, I think that there's a lot of good that came from it. It's probably not a good answer. I feel like I need to read these questions ahead of time so I can come with a little bit more of a prepared answer. These are difficult questions to answer. We were rambling. But, yep. What was the biggest regret? And I actually didn't really answer this fully, but what would you do differently? What I would do differently would just be go and apply and actually go for it. I didn't even apply to Harvard because I just didn't think that I would get in, or I didn't have good enough grades. I had a lot of good things going for me on the extracurricular side, but I didn't have like straight A's or anything. And I almost like put a cap on myself, like limiting mindset early on, where it's like I was kind of like, even if I wouldn't have admitted it at the time, because I probably wouldn't have, like, I guess just being afraid that like getting rejected, like it was almost like I knew I'd get rejected from Harvard, and so I didn't even apply. But by that same token, I think that there actually could have been a chance that I could have gotten in, or if I had made an effort. Like growing up, I kind of regret not really going for it because I thought that school didn't matter. I didn't really take it as seriously as I probably could have. And like today, I know that there are probably things that could be, like there are advantages inherently that come if you go to like a top school or whatever it might be. You get more connections, all these other things. It could help with what you're doing or building. So that would be a regret. I guess Bucknell is the wrong answer. The regret is not actually not actually giving the time and attention to give it my all to get into a top school. Because simultaneously I hold two beliefs that I don't think school matters, but I think your peer group does matter. And like on the school front, just following this line of thought and stream of consciousness, I think that like that could have been cool, having that like that peer group around that also loves like kind of like creating and building things. Would have been cool. But anyway, long answer to these questions. This is the benefit. This is the benefit of coming to this stream. You get to see the off-the-cuff answers of some very difficult questions. That was a difficult question. So many more amazing conversations to come. We were going to end the stream there. And until next time, I'll see you later. Peace.